Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Craig and Stevie here in the studio. Jan out of Fjortoft. Jan, where are you? Where are you? In a hotel somewhere?
Yes, I'm in Munich after 1.5 years not being able to travel. I'm doing a Europa tour, so just to travel.
Oh, lovely. Oh, very nice. Where's your next stop?
Salzburg.
Oh. Jan, the first question is for you.
What? Per diems are flying in.
Per diems, yeah.
Per diems.
What team would you advise Erling Haaland to join next year, Jan, if money wasn't an issue? Where should he go? Frankfurt?
Wow, that is a good question. I like to go. I would like him to go to Swindon Town.
Yes.
Because they are struggling now. They're going all the way from Premier League when I was there, and they had a trouble with the money and the owner. So I would like him to go to Swindon Town.
Where would you go, Stevie?
Barnsley.
If money wasn't an option, you're Erling Haaland. Go anywhere you want.
Man City.
Man City?
Yeah.
Over Real Madrid, over Barcelona?
Well, right now, we're talking about him being there for 10 years. If you think of Man City, do you think anything's going to change in the next 10 years at Man City? All they're going to do, whether Pep's there or not, they're going to get the next best manager in who's available, who will be great. They're always going to have money. They're always going to be signing big players, as opposed to you take a chance going to Real Madrid because of, what, 3-4 years ago.
The history and everything that goes along with Real Madrid and the Bernabeu wouldn't influence it at all.
If it's down to football, you go to Man City.
Right.
If it's about history, then that changes the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona and... Well, years and years ago, it used to be... Italy was the big draw.
Yes.
You know, most of the top players at the time gravitated from France and England and wherever around Europe to Juventus and Milan. We saw, you know, Stevie's old mate Ian Rush went there.
Yeah.
all
You've
the
got
big
Gaza in there.
Gaza, but then before that, all the big Dutch players, Rijkaard, Hullet.
Yeah.
The Germans would go to Inter.
Yeah.
Jurgen and all his mates.
Yeah.
And then it became, not that nobody ever went to Barca, but it was Italy was more prominent. And then for a long period it was Madrid and Barcelona.
Yes. Yeah.
Just because they were the go-to destinations. Now they are still the go-to destinations in terms of the big clubs, but in terms of
where would you go?
It's a difficult one. If it's a destination and he believes he can it'll turn around and it'll get better and they'll sign Mbappe and all this, it would be Madrid.
Right.
However, that could be a bit of a pipe dream.
Yep. Sure.
So if it's football, it's Man City.
Stevie,
the problem is that if you go, he will always end up in England at some time. He's born in England. His dad has played in England. So he will always end up there. So I think that the thing that you have to think of is who will be there. Like the boys are saying, next summer, where will they be? Will they have money? Will they have the right manager and all that? So it's a tough decision. But I would love to. If I was a player, I would. Well, if you have the chance to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid once in your lifetime, you should do that.
Yeah. Is anybody fed up with Erling Haaland yet? Getting there.
We'll see.
That was a kind of...
The season started, Champions League will start soon.
But that response you gave me was a kind of... It's getting there.
it's
I'm kind of there.
It's bubbling.
Yeah.
Stevie, which...
Jadon Sancho-esque from last year. Now it's Erling Haaland.
Do you remember the Neymar, Paul Pogba days? They were long days. They were long summers. Stevie, with two of your favourite players on the move, which signing will be more beneficial to their team's success? Ramos to PSG or Lukaku to Chelsea?
Ooh.
Lukaku to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because you know he's going to play. I'm not so sure. Ramos hardly played any games last season.
Right.
There's no question he's lost a yard. So...
Lukaku will play and get goals?
Yes, Lukaku will play and Lukaku will get goals. So I'll go with Lukaku.
Craig, would you rather be a squad player for a top-level team like City or PSG, or the star and captain of a mid-table team like Aston Villa? Good question.
Yeah, actually. Well, I think I'd rather play.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play because it would become extremely frustrating.
Right.
I mean, it depends if you just want to... If you want to bag a few medals without really making much of an impact and earn money, depends what you want to do.
Right.
But most of the guys from our era wanted to play, and they would move to play.
What about you, Jan?
No, but I had this conversation some years ago, with Henning Berg, as you remember, the defender for Manchester United, and he was desperate to leave Manchester United, and because he felt he didn't get enough games, and I told him that people like me playing for Swindon, Barnsley, Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United, I'm going to move clubs all the time, but you're in a time in your career you have to stay, because if you get 30, 40% of the game, you still can build on it later, and he got the treble. He got a treble the year after, and I think that is depending which year, the age where you are. I mean, you shouldn't do that. But at the end of your career, like Choupo-Moting now, Choupo-Moting was also starring at PSG. Now he's also starring at Bayern Munich. I think he's doing the right decision.
Here's one. Origi. You got to question Origi. He's what, 23, 24?
We haven't talked about Origi for a while, and your dislike of
now
him.
we are.
23. So
It just popped up in his head. Origi.
honestly, it did, because if you're asking that question, he's the perfect example.
Right.
What do you do?
Shaqiri?
Do you sit in the background? Well, I mean, Shaqiri gave it a go at Bayern, couldn't get in their team, and so he just decided, you know what, I'll do the same. But
I'll go to Stoke.
I think Origi's the best one because he's age.
Right.
24 years old. You know you're not playing.
Right.
You know you're only playing in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup. You might get a game in the Champions League in the qualifying rounds if they play a Mickey Mouse team, but you're 24 years old. Wow.
Sticking with Liverpool, since all three of you...
Goalies.
What?
No, I'm just thinking of one, but before I ask the question, Zach Steffen,
Right, at Manchester
US
City.
number one,
Yeah, when
but
do you-
maybe not for long.
Yeah, when do you think...
Because the lad from
Yes.
Revolution played really well, and he's not going to play ahead of Edison.
Yeah.
Turner, his name is, yeah.
So, what decision do you want to make? There's a World Cup in 2022, which they probably will qualify through that very difficult hex, and the World Cup here
Yes.
in 2026 in the United States.
Yeah.
Make decisions. Sit in the bench, sit in your backside,
Yeah.
and lose your number one spot.
Since all three of you have played at Anfield, is it true that referees are heavily influenced by the crowd in that stadium? Will the return of fans help Liverpool? Jan?
I don't like the heavily word, but I think that referees, they are influenced by that, and I think that we saw the stats during the pandemic that there were more away wins, absolutely, and I think that Liverpool, I mean, it's the atmosphere at Liverpool, I mean, it's second to none. I think you have a bit the same here in Germany with some stadiums like in Signal Iduna Park with that yellow wall getting the influence on the referee. So yes, I think it's a human being, even that the referee tried to avoid that. But when 80,000 or 60,000 shouting, it's easier to give a penalty, absolutely.
I only remember when I was playing that it was more Man United. Or more Man United hate. I mean, Solskjaer.
How much to join that group?
No, but back when Ferguson was the manager, Sir Alex,
Yeah.
it used to
Ferguson.
it used to be not Anfield, to my memory, was you'll never get a penalty at the Stretford end.
Right.
And they always will. And referees were influenced by that manager's gravitas and pressure, and also that big stadium. I don't really remember it so much at Liverpool, to be honest.
But I think it was more. I think it's a good point that Sir Alex Ferguson was the one more than Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I don't remember us ever getting a penalty decision and going, that's a joke, that's never a penalty.
But really?
Well, you played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You played
No,
for
exactly, I don't remember. Listen, we're not stupid, right? There'll be decisions during a game where you go, can't believe he just gave a foul to us.
Right.
I don't remember a penalty in particular.
Okay.
Thinking, I can't believe he gave that. But there's no question, there is an influence.
To all the guys, would you have made a move to a big club even if you didn't like the manager? That's a good question.
No.
No?
I tell you why, because I moved away from at least one club because I didn't like the manager.
Which club was
I
that?
didn't like the politics. Not saying. No point if you're not going to have a relationship with a manager. You're
Right.
going to work it's not international football. You're not pitching up every 3 months. You're in 6 days a week.
Yeah. But I suppose the theory is you see it out until they get sacked or move on or whatever.
But you're signing. Would you have made a move to
Makes
a
that
club?
sound dead easy,
Yeah.
didn't it?
So you go into a club, you don't like the manager.
Well, it is, it really is.
No, you've got to factor
Well done,
that.
Dan.
You have
Glad to know you haven't changed.
You have to factor that in. I I'm sorry, but you do, because you've got to work with him and he's got to work with you.
Stevie?
No chance. You don't like the manager?
No.
Not a chance.
Not a
No.
chance.
Jan?
Well, I went to one club and I didn't like the manager, but I know the process were already going on to sack him, so I went there.
Wow. Who was that, Jan?
I would say it was Craig, I can't tell you.
Oh, look at that. Look at the smile. No, he smiles. Would you ever consider...
Hey, by the way, it's easy to look up. Just look up where he was.
Oh, it's the magic on the computer.
See where the manager got sacked.
I saw him in the computer. By the way, I saw him in the computer before we came in. He was typing something. It was like that.
Yeah, he got locked out with his
I got locked out. We had to change my
The
password.
finger. It was like, there's none of this.
Just look it up.
After 3 attempts, phone the help desk.
Is that what you were doing?
Aye.
I wonder why you were on the computer.
Jan, would you ever consider giving up your shirt number to an incoming superstar joining your club?
I played at Middlesbrough and I had the number 9 shirt, and in came Fabrizio Ravanelli, just winning the Champions League.
Right.
So I was clever. I went to the manager and said, listen, could I have 23 next year? So I wasn't taking her away, but I was
preemptive
ahead of
strike.
myself. Yeah, it was. But I love my shirt, and the shirt numbers was very important. So that I feel bad about it now.
You know this story,
I
don't
think
you?
that.
Does a story involve a certain former Middlesbrough player?
Yes. You know this story, don't you?
Remind me.
So talking about giving shirts up, I never gave my shirt up. It was given up for me.
Yes.
So I walked back into pre-season at Derby County, and I walked into the training ground, and Robbie Mustoe,
Robbie.
Musty was sitting in the training ground with my number 8 training kit on.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I went. So I put the old steely face on. I went.
Well, that must be difficult.
Yeah. I went, what the hell are you doing? You know what Robbie's like, he's such a nice guy. I said, what the hell are you doing? That's my training kit. He went, they told me I could take number 8. Right, so I was like, forget it. But you know the thing is, he wasn't even signed.
Right. As a trialist.
No, he wasn't on trial. John Gregory had promised him there was a contract for him.
Right.
Don't ask. Have you ever... Somebody tweet Robbie Mustoe about this because he's still got a bee in his bonnet. He was promised the earth by certain people at Derby.
Right.
And in the end it never materialised. But he was given my number 8.
Right.
And he thought I was very angry at him.
Is John Gregory maybe the answer to the question
No, it
before?
wasn't, because I didn't sign
If
for...
it had been John Gregory, he would have said.
John Gregory left Derby
Don't
before
worry
me.
about
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Musty. You know Musty, Mr. Innocent.
Yes.
He thought I was going to chin him. Get that freaking kit.
Stevie, I don't imagine you care about numbers, do you?
Well, I'll be honest.
Only the amount of beers he's got.
The
in there.
80s, if somebody was coming in,
Yes.
they would go, by the way, your new number is whatever.
Yeah.
There you
Right.
go, there's your strap.
There you
Just
go.
be told,
That was it.
regardless.
Were you number 4 forever at Liverpool?
Till I left.
Yes, obviously.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Why?
Well, because you've just asked me if
Well, what were
somebody came
you-
in and took my number.
What were you in those heady days of the sort of 90,
Oh, the resis and all that.
93, 94, slightly
No, I was 4.
slightly out of shape
I had it to 4.
before you went to Sheffield
Before he
Wednesday?
left.
I had 4 till I left.
4 till he left.
All right.
But
There you go.
But Liverpool was magnificent when we grew up, because they had the same number like for ages.
Yeah.
Emily Hughes, number 6, and Stevie 4, and number 7 was Magic and all that.
And Barnes
9.
was 10
Fantastic.
forever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fantastic.
final question. Would Craig either support Manchester United for the rest of his life or get Stevie's haircut every time he goes to the barbers?
Oh, his haircut all day. It's not that bad. It's a number.
Do you know what?
Number 2, number 3.
I would get my hair cut as well.
Wow.
It's grown back. Look
Support
at it.
Man United.
Hey, look at it.
Yeah,
it's
it is
coming,
almost little.
it's coming back.
Put
nice.
some-
Getting out of control,
Hey,
isn't it?
have you had it confirmed by your regular hairdresser that you got the numbers wrong?
Correct.
It's normally a 5,
Is
right?
it normally a 5?
I walked in all bolshy. I went, Mona, I want you to answer me this question.
Yes.
Do you do a 2 on the side?
Yep.
She went, yes.
Yes.
I went, do you do a 3 on the top? She went, no. And I left it. I went, okay, done.
That's it.
5 or 6 on the
That's
top.
definitely a 5, isn't it? That is it. Thank you very much.
And he's blaming the guy at that place.
Yes,
and,
I know, the poor guy.
He should have
guy.
known better.
Poor guy. You should have known better.
Aye.
He's doing what he's told.
Are you sure it's a number 2 you want?
That's it. Yeah, and enjoy your travels. We'll be back tomorrow for more, of course,
Cheers.
looking ahead to some of those big games across Europe. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.